Welcome to Declassified Malaysia. In Chapter 21, we will disclose Dr. Mahathir's biggest mistake during Sheraton Move that end up with the toppling of Pakatan Harapan-led federal government. On February 28, 2020, Dewan Rakyat Speaker Muhammad Arif Mat Yusof rejected a notice by interim Prime Minister Dr. Mahathir Mohamad to call for a special sitting to allow Member of Parliament to elect a new Prime Minister. According to the Speaker, the motion was rejected because two reasons. The first reason is the next meetings of Dewan Rakyat can only be convened after the Yang di-Pertuan Agong decides on the formation of a new federal government. The second reason, under Standing Order 11.3, the notice and date was not issued to the Speaker. My question, is this two excuse given by the Speaker is true? My answer is, it was half-truth. Both of the excuse given by the Speaker was actually true, but it didn't tell the whole story and there is no specific detail given on the dismissal of the motion given by Dr. Mahathir. The reason that this general statement given as an excuse to dismiss the motion was actually an attempt by the Speaker to cover for the mistake made by the interim Prime Minister at the time. If the politician with the caliber of Dr. Mahathir make this kind of mistake, it is very embarrassing. That's why the cover-up statement was made here. Now, let me unravel and explain the real reason that the motion for the convening of Dewan Rakyat for special sitting was dismissed. Let us gather the fact tentatively. Dr. Mahathir resigned as Prime Minister on 24th February 2020. This means the whole cabinet also automatically resigned under Article 43, Clause 4 to 5 of Federal Constitution, rendering all the people involved in the Sheraton Move powerless. Then, on 25th February 2020, Dr. Mahathir was appointed as interim Prime Minister by the Yang di-Pertuan Agong through convention. This is the political move that Dr. Mahathir has subversively executed to put him as the most powerful person in Malaysia at the time. He is putting himself into a one-man show as interim Prime Minister. There is no cabinet anymore. There is only him as interim Prime Minister to orchestrate any political direction that he wants. Here, he thinks that he has the power as he is being appointed as interim Prime Minister by the Yang di-Pertuan Agong. He thinks he is now in full power of everything. Unfortunately for him, this is the first mistake that he makes. He is delusional with this interim Prime Minister position. During his tenure as interim Prime Minister, this brief space of time is sufficient for Dr. Mahathir to observe and identify the traitor among his cabinet and member of parliament that might jump ship. He used this brief moment of time because everybody are aiming to fill the vacant post of Prime Minister at the time by lobbying the numbers to go into their side. So Dr. Mahathir observed and make his own calculation at this brief time. Once the murky water on which side that every political player are sitting on has been made clear, Dr. Mahathir are moving into his next step to execute his political ploy to stay in power. Dr. Mahathir then proposed a motion to the Speaker to convene a special sitting of Dewan Rakyat under Standing Order 11.3 to determine who has the majority to form a new federal government. Thinking that acting as interim Prime Minister would give him more leverage in gaining more support, Dr. Mahathir tried to move a confident motion in Parliament. If he was able to convene the Parliament, his plan, I suspect it would be to move a confident motion in Parliament. The confident motion then that Mahathir want to propose is motion of confidence, which definitely will put a vote of confidence on himself. This is very smart actually. This is very smart because the motion of confidence means the government want to measure the confidence of the majority of the member of Dewan Rakyat on Prime Minister, meaning himself. This will automatically putting Anwar Ibrahim out of the equation. Game over for Anwar if this plan was put into place. The plan for Dr. Mahathir is actually to form a unity government through the motion of confidence, and it almost come into fruition. Meaning, he will lead the biggest and strongest government in Malaysia afterwards. He will become the most powerful Prime Minister ever in Malaysia history. But greed of power has blinded our interim Prime Minister, and he is going to pay for it heavily. Unfortunately for Dr. Mahathir, this step is the biggest mistake that he makes. His next step is the biggest mistake that he makes during the political crisis at the time. His motion to convene a special meeting, which subsequently will move into a motion of confidence on himself, which was sent to the Speaker, was actually against Standing Order 11.3. This is how it got very wrong for Dr. Mahathir. Let's see, Standing Order 11.3, it read as follows. If, during an adjournment of the House, it is represented to Tuan Yang di-Pertuan to the Speaker by the Prime Minister, that the public interest require that the House should meet at an earlier date than that to which the House was adjourned, Tuan Yang di-Pertuan shall give notice thereof forthwith, and the House shall meet at the time stated in such notice. The business set down for that day shall be appointed by the Prime Minister, and notice thereof shall be circulated not later than the time of the meeting. Can you see now? As we can see, Standing Order 11.3 specific, is very specific, state that only Prime Minister can call for the special sitting of Dewan Rakyat, not interim Prime Minister. This is where Dr. Mahathir get checkmate. This is the real reason why the motion given by Dr. Mahathir was dismissed by the Speaker. Dr. Mahathir at that time is not Prime Minister. He is interim Prime Minister, so he cannot convene the Parliament to make a special sitting. This is the biggest mistake made by Dr. Mahathir. After he failed to convene a special meeting of Dewan Rakyat, that is when everything became more chaotic and out of control. Dr. Mahathir himself didn't expect this to happen. The rest is history. Now, if you want to find the real culprit for the collapse of Pakatan Harapan-led federal government, find the person who lied to Dr. Mahathir about the requirement for the convening of Dewan Rakyat special meeting under Standing Order 11.3. This person is lying to Dr. Mahathir that interim Prime Minister can call for the special meeting, but actually it is not possible under Standing Order 11.3. Only Prime Minister can call for the special meeting of Dewan Rakyat, not interim Prime Minister, which is Dr. Mahathir at that time. And we don't have Prime Minister at that crucial time. Dr. Mahathir is not Prime Minister. He is interim Prime Minister. So no special sitting can be convened. So there will be no votes of confidence motion on Dr. Mahathir. Meaning, the next move at that time is up to the young di-Pertuan Agong to appoint the next Prime Minister under His Majesty discretional power. If you find this person, you find a person who is responsible for the collapse of Pakatan Harapan-led federal government, please let me know who is the one that lying about Standing Order 11.3 to Dr. Mahathir. Thank you for watching.